Welcome back to a new video. In this series we focus on the sea deities, from Greek mythology. These deities were commanded by the sea king Poseidon and his queen Amphitrite. The sea was important to the people of Greece. Their country consisted of many islands. They relied heavily on the water for food, travel, and trade. This video is about Proteus, sea god of rivers and prophetic shapeshifting. He is a shapeshifter and a seer. A god who tells the truth, but only if you can hold on to him. Who is Proteus? Proteus is a primordial sea deity, one of the oldest in Greek mythology. He is often described as a servant or herdsman of Poseidon, guarding the sea's sacred seals or leading the flocks of fish across the deep. But Proteus is far more than a caretaker. He is a spirit of ancient knowledge, of hidden truths, and ever-changing form. He is a god of elusiveness, the one who knows everything but will not speak unless compelled. To the Greeks, he was the embodiment of the sea itself, ever-shifting, unknowable, both serene and violent. What makes Proteus unique? Shapeshifter supreme, Proteus can transform into anything: a lion, a serpent, water, fire, wind, even elemental forces themselves. Seer of truth, he knows all things, past, present, and future. But he shares his visions only when captured and restrained. Reluctant oracle, he despises giving prophecy. He prefers solitude, sleeping in sea caves or among the foam, slipping away when approached. Elder power, Proteus predates the Olympians. He is a titanic figure, a leftover from the world before Zeus' order. The nature of Proteus. Proteus represents the fluidity of truth, how answers are not always fixed, how identity can be many things at once. His name likely comes from the same root as proto, meaning first or original. He may have once been a primordial sea god, later reduced to a minor figure in myth as Poseidon and others rose to prominence. But make no mistake, Proteus is no lesser spirit. He is old, wild, and full of mystery. Myths and encounters. 1. Menelaus and the Shapeshifter. In Homer's Odyssey, Proteus is encountered by Menelaus, the king of Sparta. After the Trojan War, Menelaus is stranded on a remote island. His ships are becalmed. He cannot sail home. He is told that only Proteus knows the way. But Proteus will not answer questions freely. So, Menelaus hides in seal skin, waits until Proteus is asleep, and then wrestles him into submission. Proteus changes forms wildly: a lion, a tree, a river, a fire, but Menelaus holds fast. At last, the old god yields. He reveals how Menelaus can reach home, and also shares the fates of other Greeks, including Odysseus. 2. The Eternal Shepherd. Some myths show Proteus not as a prisoner or oracle, but as a solitary guardian of Poseidon's sea creatures, especially seals and sea lions. He lives in peace, far from Olympus, surfacing only when disturbed. To these myths, he is not malevolent or helpful, just ancient and indifferent, like a storm on the horizon. Proteus as a chthonic force. Proteus is not a god of the underworld, but he is deeply chthonic in spirit. He is ancient, older than Olympus. He lives apart from the gods, in hidden, liminal spaces. He knows fates, secrets, and truths that mortals fear to ask. He resists control, much like death, much like fate. In many ways, Proteus is a chthonic sea oracle, more spirit than god, more truth than form. Symbols and iconography. Proteus is rarely depicted in grand temples or statues. He is too elusive for that. But when he is shown, he often appears as an old, bearded man, sometimes with seaweed in his hair, surrounded by seals, fish, and other marine animals, holding a staff or trident, sometimes curled like a shepherd's crook. Mid-transformation, part beast, part man, with shifting limbs or watery skin. Modern interpretations often show him as a green-skinned spirit, emerging from tidal-pools, half-formed. Proteus in philosophy and literature. In later centuries, Proteus became a symbol of change itself. The philosopher Heraclitus said, You cannot step into the same river twice, an idea rooted in Proteus' essence. In Shakespeare's The Two Gentlemen of Verona, the character Proteus is a man of shifting loyalties, a reflection of the god's mutability. Carl Jung used protean to describe aspects of the unconscious, shifting, unknowable, yet deeply truthful. Final thoughts. Proteus does not want your prayers. He does not want worship or temples or gold. He wants to be left alone. But if you are desperate, if you are lost, and no other god will help you, you may find him sleeping on a lonely rock, surrounded by seals. And if you are brave enough to hold on, through storm, fire, serpent, and smoke, he may, at last, speak the truth. But be warned, truth is rarely what we hope to hear. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more stories about ancient gods, spirits, and forgotten myths, let me know in the comments. And remember, the gods of the sea are not always loud. Sometimes, they whisper, like waves on stone.